Now, if you hello there, and I hope you are all fine. And it's a joy to see you guys. And I wanted to do a video on how to do a return for uh, unemployed payee, that is payee for employed. And I wanted to use one of my client account to show you how to do payee. And this is how you do it. Once you log into the iTax portal, this is the dashboard that you'll find. They just renovated it the other day. Ilikuwa inakaa tofauti, but now this is the new dashboard for the return iTax portal. So the way you do the how you do the returns, you just, I hope you can see home, registration, then you have return, debt and enforcement, payment, assessment, refund, certificate, useful links. And then we also have e-communication, my ledger and logout. So for you to do the return, you need to come to the button for returns. Then under the return, we have file return, we have file amended return, we have view filed return, we have file new return, we have ITR for employment income only, simplified return. We also have download pay CSV. So for this file return is what we use for someone who is employed and someone who has a withholding certificate. Then file amendment return, this is when you file a return, then maybe you did a mistake and you need to repeat the returns. You do the file amended return. When you want to see all the returns that you have filed for over years, you can view them here. Then we have file new return. This is where majority of Kenyans fall in. They file new return because for you, if you don't have any withholding certificate, or if you are not employed and you want to file a return, this is why you do the file new return. Then for employment, you can either use file return or you can also use this simplified one, and also you can use this one. Simplified return, we have three categories. We have ITR for employment, we have exercise service only. This is people like those who sell the purified water. They do the exercise return, which is done every month. Then we have turnover tax, that is TOT, that is done once a year. So for this kind of a return that I'm going to do is file return, which is done yearly between the month of January and the month of June 30th. But for this instance, like today is 7th, 5th, it's 4th of July, but still people can file because KRA did an extension for a deadline. So we are lucky we can file even after past 30th of June. So we are going to do the file return. We click there. Then this is the dashboard that we get. Then after that, we can select the income tax resident individual, because this person is a resident individual, is a Kenyan, so it's a resident individual as an obligation. Then we click next. Once we click next, it will give us this dashboard where we have some instructions here, and also it auto-populate the return period which you want to do. If for instance he didn't do the returns for the year 2023, the return period ingeanza from January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. But now because we are doing the financial year 2024, this is the return period that are highlighted there correctly. So from here we go to here. I hope you can see the download income tax resident individual Excel. Yeah, most of us use Excel, but some people use ODS. For me, I also use Excel because it is the simplest way to do them. So you click here to download the sample of the Excel which you're supposed to file. Remember, for anyone who is employed, they are supposed to have another form that is called P9 form. P9 form is a summary of your income tax for the previous year. Right now we are filing for 2024. So you are supposed to have a P9 that consists all your pay slip calculation and deduction for the whole year from January to December if you are employed. For those who have been employed for maybe 3 months in that year, pia unafaa kuwa nayo, because the P9 form will only show the 3 months that you are employed. So you download the sample Excel sheet which iko hapa kwa download. Then once you are in the download, you can click the show in folder to see where the document is, and here you can see it imekuja kwa downloads. You just right click it, you right click it here, then show more option, then ukuje properties, then you unblock the macros. This is how you unblock. If you don't do this, Excel yako itakusumbua. So that is the first step. Number 1, you unblock the macros. So you unblock them, then apply, then click OK. Then you can now open the document. Once you open it, itakuja in a sample in a form of Excel, so you can double click it to open it. And now ndo itupeleke kwa Excel sheet, so we can fill the details in comparison with your P9 form. P9 form is filing pay is very easy, because whatever is in P9 form is what you declare in this Excel sheet, and this is how you do it. I will not show you the figures for this client of mine, because he hasn't given me that authority, but this is how you fill the details. For personal identification number, this is where you fill your KRA pin. That is a KRA pin for the client. Then return, type of return, you do the original, because you are not doing the amendment. If you are doing the amendment, you just select amendment, but because you are doing original, just select original. Then return period from, this is where you type manually from January 1st 2024, depending on which financial year you are filing for. Unagojea load for you to fill up to return period up to 31st of December 2024. So once you do that, you go next. For this kind of returns, since this one is employed, we will not change anything from there. But if it was withholding, which I'll also do another video showing you how to do the withholding, this is where you click do you have any income other than employment income. Here is where you select yes, and once you select yes, it will have more Excel sheet here down, where you will declare your income, and you also declare the expense, that how you use that money, for you to be able to declare the withholding certificate. But since this one is for payee and for employed ones, we just click this, all of them, we leave them for no, then we go to next inatuleta to now the employment income, where we declare how much you earn for every year, that is gross payment, your allowances, your net value for housing, and any other benefit apart from housing and car. There are people who benefit from their companies, they get benefits that are in form of cash. Maybe it's a transport allowance, all those allowances, this is where you declare them. But since this client only do the employment income, you'll allow me not to show you the P9 form for this client, because that is a confidential information. So for this one, I'll just blur the video, but I'll explain. I'll explain without showing you figures. So in our Excel, we have section F. Section F, we have pin of employer. Pin of employer, if I am employed by Kengen, I'm supposed to write the pin for Kengen here. The name of employer should be here, but all this information is provided in the P9 form, and I'll show you a format of how P9 form looks like. P9 form consists of the PIN of the employer, name of the employer, your gross pay, your net pay, your pay that was charged on that taxable income, and all the deduction including the NHIF, the now we are calling it SHA. It will also consist of the deduction on housing levy, which is also nowadays iko kwa the P9 form for some, and for some haiko. And we also have the pension deductions, which will also be in our P9 form. So those are the details that you fill in according respectively, you fill them respectively. If it is PIN of the employer, unaijaza hapo, name of the employer, gross pay, as it is in the P9 form. Now let me do this without showing you the details for my client, then I'll explain the next step. Yeah, allow me to do this. And I hope if you have any question, you can leave it on my comment section on my video, so that I can get back to you. Yes, it will be my honor to answer your questions. Na niko na homa, poleni manze. Now I have the P9 here. Let me just details the client mbio so that I may go to the next step. Don't want this video to be that long, just want it to be simple and clear. Yeah, simple and clear. So nice. Now some of you might be asking, how did I learn all this? Currently I'm doing a postgraduate diploma in tax administration, which I'm natafuta school fees. I've deferred, but these are the things that I taught myself when I was in campus. Probably majority, 90% of what I'm doing here is self-explanatory, and I did it myself. Then I consulted for clarification where I needed. So allow me to use to fill in the information very quickly so that I can go to the next video. Also, I wanted to clarify something. If you have two employees at the same time, you can highlight them in these Excels. You can add the first one, then the second one. The accumulative gross pay itaji auto-populate yenyewe, and the corresponding taxes will also auto-populate itself. So if you have more than one employer, you can fill them in the Excel. You can also add some rows, maybe allowances. Majority of the people that I filed for hawana hizo allowances. Maybe hizi allowances utazipata kwa maybe CEOs, people with big titles in the offices, na bado sijaeza kupata someone with allowances. So yeah, once you're done with the employment income, you go to the details of pay deduction. Details of pay deduction include, this is section M, include the PIN of the employer, which is that. And then the name, you will still copy paste what you have just typed in the previous Excel sheet. This one I can't reveal it because it's confidential for the client. Wow. So once you fill in and now we have difference between the gross pay and the taxable salary. So once you're done with the pay, this Excel sheet, which is details of pay deducted, that includes pins of the employer, name of the employer, taxable salary, tax payable on taxable salary. Then you have the amount of tax deducted, which is pay, which is slightly lower than tax payable on taxable salary. And then once you're done with that, you will go to the next sheet, which we don't change anything unless you have advance payment that you have done concerning your tax. Maybe ulikuwa ushalipa 10,000, maybe kama mostly inakujanga for people who had a withholding certificate, but for this case we are not doing anything there. Then we can go to the next part, which is the last part, tax computation. Tax computation, this is where you fill the deduction pension contribution, that is defined stroke pension contribution that that person is being deducted. You also fill the affordable housing levy. Here is the affordable housing levy. You can also fill the SHIF, that is social health insurance fund. How much is this person getting charged for the year? Then we have the personal relief. This is where you fill the personal relief, which is 28,800 for every person who pays Paye. Then we have the withholding tax. Some of the people might be having the withholding tax. That is something that you do outside your employment. That is the only thing that can have the withholding tax. Then tax due. Whatever you get on this tax due is what you're supposed to pay to KRA. If it is positive, you will pay to KRA, and if it is negative, like for this case it is 17,000, so that means this client is supposed to pay 17,000 to the KRA. But there is a way you do it for you not to pay, but necessarily you can't be cut. Like for instance, to say your payment roll payslip reads 800k per year, and you have paid around 120,000 for Paye. There's no need of you paying any much money to KRA. So what you do, you just play around this page, which I'll not reveal to you, but let me just fill out the information here. So this person is getting a contribution cut of 47,000. How much is being deducted? How much is being deducted for pension contribution? Pension contribution is 47,886. So for this one, allow me to hide it still because it's the client information. Then on top of that, we can play around affordable housing. Is this person getting charged for affordable housing? Yes, and he was charged 9059 and 9059. Is he also getting charged for SHIF? SHIF is social health insurance fund. Is he being charged 181609? Wow. So for 6 months, how much is that? 18, 16, 9, 10, 6. It is 10, 896. Yes. 88. So make sure that the tax due is either plus or minus 01, plus or minus 1. So that means tax, if it is positive, that is supposed to be paid. If it is negative, it's a credit that KRA owes to you. So once you're done filling the Excel sheet, you validate here. You allow it to load. So once it's done validating, you can say yes and then click OK. When you click OK, you go back to the iTax portal. You go back to the iTax portal, which is here. iTax portal, which is here. You go back to the file return. You click on resident individual, then click next. Once you click next, you agree with the terms and conditions, which you can read them here. Once you're done reading them here, to make sure that what you have done is correct and as per you, then once you're done with the terms and condition, you choose the file here. Then that file that you validated will be saved in your laptop's document. So you go to document, the first one you can check, you can verify with the KRA pin here. As you can see, this is the KRA pin for the client. Then click open, then you can submit. If it has any error, it won't go through. Itakuambia which error is highlighted for you to change. But if it is correct, it will just go through and say download the receipt. So for this one, it's correct. So we download the receipt. And since this is what we enjoy doing, I will not reveal this receipt to you. So this is what we enjoy doing. We can rename the receipt. We can rename the receipt and say this, in this case, our receipt is for 2024 returns receipt. So we rename it so because we have a lot of people who we are filing for, and we need to have their receipt correctly documented. So once we are done with the receipt, we can send it to them for future reference together with their logins, so that next time while they are doing their return, they won't have any difficulty in logging into their portal. So you can have the customer email on their KRA pin, then you write an email. For this case, I have an email dedicated to these services, so I'll come here, compose a new email to the client of who I have just done the services for. And then since it's a common thing, I can just copy paste here. Yes, that is the subject. Subject is 2024 return receipt, and also the body of the email, I can just copy paste it here. So this is how we do our customer services here. In case you want your returns done next year, because this is the last day of returns. We also do VAT for companies. We also do income tax, company corporate tax. If you have any issue with all those type of returns. You can contact us, you can look for us, you can WhatsApp us. We are ready for you. Yeah, and we are ready to help you do your return every year. Returns are expected to be done every year. Anyone with a KRA pin in Kenya is supposed to do their return, whether you are employed or not. For employed, you do the Paye, and for not employed, you do the nil return every year. So thank you guys for watching. May God bless you. Have an amazing July. Bye.